Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you are in the world. My name is Jonathan Talk, your ambassador for the month of October. And guys, welcome to our Sunday night call. I am very excited for our call tonight as we have a two very special guests. And oh, I can't wait to introduce them to you. So let me start with an amazing woman. She's a young entrepreneur, started at the age of 19. She's the woman behind our unique and stunning products, luxury designs that are now being sold in over 90 countries. She's been featured in Networking Times as a master networker, also been featured in Oprah's Wow magazine as a power figure to women around the world. She is currently working side by side with our CEO and founder and visionary of Global World Trade Corporation, Mr. Ramin Scarlo, to ensure that Ferry becomes the largest luxury fashion designer house in the world. And she is no other than our very own Senior Vice President, Ms. Hanaz Yuman. And of course, an amazing, amazing man, a visionary who founded and now one of the world's most prestigious luxury designer fashion house in the world, Global Well Trade, with luxury consultants in over 90 countries. And he's awarded and recognized as world's top trainer list by businessforhome.org, world's top 3 compensation plan expert by Networking Times, cover story on the American Business Journal and Canadian Business Journal, and a lot more. He is also a young champion athlete with 120 medals, both national and international. And today, he is recognized as Canada's foremost direct selling bureau and one of the industry's most successful master trainers, author of Forensic Networker, and created sales organization of over 100,000 distributors, a dozen of which have become multiple million-dollar entrepreneurs. And our very own CEO, Mr. Ramin Misgarlo. Ramin, Tanas, are you on the line?
Good evening, Jonathan. Yes, we are on the line. Sanaz, are you on the line?
Absolutely. Jonathan, repeat okay.
Hear you perfectly, Sanaz.
Yes.
I am so revved up, Sanaz. 26 years in this industry. Every time, I must have done thousands, maybe tens of thousands of conference calls, and every single time I get on one of these calls, I get absolutely revved up. You know why? Because this is where the rubber meets the road, where the leadership take action, when people come to get information, when people come to be inspired. And these calls, I still get butterflies every time I'm on it. When I look at the lines, people are expanding. This is a jam-packed house tonight from all around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from Toronto.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ramin. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Jonathan, for the kind introduction. We are revved up. We are excited. October 15th, we are 10 days away from the mega event that we're going to be talking to you about. And Ramin, you know what? Like you said, we usually don't get on conference calls, but when we do, we have exciting announcements. And I know we got people from all different continents that are on this call. Now, Jonathan, if you can be so kind to mute out all the background noise because we are hearing some background noise there.
You know what, Sanaz? I've been talking to some people, and there is a major misconception what this conference is coming up. I actually had some people say, well, I'll go to the next one. Well, you can't go to the next one. There is no next one. We've only had 2 conferences in entire 2015. One of them was a forensic, and whoever showed up, you saw the results. They went to the moon, and they stayed there since we see the performance. And the second one is the product conference and innovation, which is this year. Not only there will be no another one for 2015, we may never have another one like this because, as we've never done a development and innovation conference, because this is not a boot camp, this is not a Super Saturday, we're not doing product training. This is all about past, present, and the future.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting thing is that we are getting closer and closer to our 10-year anniversary. And Ramin, when you wrote the plan back in 2005, I remember when I joined you and your vision of what it was going to be in for 2015 and what your vision was for the company and the compensation plan and the products Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting close and we are approaching our 10th anniversary. And of course, prior to coming with our 10th anniversary, we have tons and tons of new developments that are going to be happening. And what better time than, of course, prior to the international conference that everyone's going to be flying in from all across the globe to celebrate, but to have an amazing product development and innovation conference to give you an update on what is to come.
Wow, look at those lines. They keep on climbing. I think we may have an opportunity to be our best we've ever done on this webinar. So congratulations, everyone who are logging in. But you know what? Why aren't you logging in every week? You shouldn't be setting a record on the call just because I'm on the call or Sanaz is on the call. You should be setting a record every week because there's a new information that you need to take you to the next level. For at the very least, these calls are your weekly dosage of motivation that you need. Not to mention, of course, many of you, even if you had experience like me, 27 years of building multi-million-dollar businesses, you always pick up ideas. So these calls on Tuesdays and Sundays is an absolute must, and it's easy to do from your favorite chair at home, your favorite beverage, your favorite phone, and you just tap right into the call. Now, Sanaz, we got a few things to talk about. First one is the mega, actually the first one should be the mega tour. So let's see, I can't see the, yes, the mega tour. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this one is your money-making nights. This is the night you've been waiting for your entire year. If you can fly in for this, providing, there is flights, you should be here. And if you're from other cities, other countries, you can easily prospect into Toronto, GTA area, bringing your guests out. And for the first time ever, Sanaz, I'm not just giving GWT money. This is not just about bringing the people that you normally would call. I want people to stretch out, and I want to set record incomes alone. So talk to us about all the cash incentives that we have this year, which we have never done in our history.
Well, Ramin, before I talk about the cash incentives, I remember when I RA trip and we were in Mexico. I remember there was a competition and I was playing around and I went actually head to head with Maria Gaderi, and we had to go around. I don't know if you remember at the cruise, go around and collect shoes, and the person with the most amount of shoes, won awards. I was ripping shoes off of people's feet because I wanted to make sure I was number one. And when I was into direct sales, we had to, the person with the most amount of guests would get the top prize. And you know what? I used to always win it. Why? Because I used to plan ahead. I used to sit and dial and smile. And you know what? This is your money-making night. You want to make sure you smile and dial. It is the biggest tour, mega tour, that is going to happen until April in Toronto, ladies and gentlemen, with Ramin and I present, and of course, all the top millionaires from around the globe. And Friday, October the 16th, which is only 11 days away, ladies and gentlemen, so you have just enough time to start hitting the phone, start talking to people, start to follow up with all of your prospects, pull out your forensic boxes, start to follow up with your guests, and you know what? Plan on getting first place. Of course, in order for you to get all that hardcore cash that Ramin has put on the table for you, you got to get out there and you got to have a minimum of 5 guests or more. But of course, I know there's lots of superstars out there and they are going to jam-pack the house. Like I said, the last time that we had a competition in my previous company, I actually had 34 guests myself. I won the top prize, and not only did I win the top prize, but my business went to a completely different level because from the 34 people that were there, a whole bunch of them ended up joining the same night. So this is your money-making night. The top 5 LCs with the most amount of guests will receive cash bonuses, ladies and gentlemen. And to count it down, we're going to go from 5th place as $100. It has to be more than 5 guests that must sit through the full tour, not of course. Then, of course, we have 4th place, $150, 3rd place, $200, 2nd place with $250, and, of course, the first runner-up, $300 cash.
Well, you know what, Sanaz? Isn't that amazing? These are the nights. By the way, when I was on the field building for multi-million-dollar businesses, it's these mega events that we set targets to reach the next target. The next, whether you're a diamond, you want to go diamond, then you bring your people in for that night for you to get to diamond, or to go to diplomat. You bring your enough people to get to diplomat, or ambassador. You bring enough people to get to ambassador. These are the type of nights that you can get to that next that next target on the compensation plan. And of course, right now for everybody, it's a free cruise. There's a free cruise coming out that you can qualify for in this one night alone. So that's why, on top of that, you come in, you leave with some cash just because you decided to do what you're supposed to do anyways, which is working your business. Speaking of money, Sanaz, something completely off topic here. You know, folks, you know, there's so many firsts in GWT that even I have not even seen in the past 26 years. Soon we're going to be putting out a memo to all your LCs who are loaded your e-wallet with commissions that you've earned, but that you're not taking it out from our bank account into your bank account, which again clearly Sanaz explains how much money our people have that they don't need this. We actually have close to $1 million that's sitting in our bank account that's earned commission that belongs to you as LCs, and nobody seems to take it on. We appreciate your trust. We appreciate that, you know, your life is so great that you don't need the money, but we prefer this money in your bank account than in our bank account. So sooner or later, we're going to ask everyone mandatory to remove your money from the e-wallet, put it on your GWT cards, and go do something great with it. Maybe it is allocation for the university college for your kids. Maybe upgrading your car. Maybe upgrading your home. Maybe it was just that RRSP or that savings. Maybe that's a vacation. Although we get too many vacations in GWT for free, so why pay for it? So off topic, but yes, those e-wallets have to start getting empty, folks. I know you love it there, but we want it in your bank account and not ours.
And of course, if any of you have any difficulty spending it, you can always count on me, because I do have my black belt in shopping, and I can definitely help you spend a couple of dollars of that.
And, you know, actually, well, Sanaz does have a black belt in shopping, but what we can do, no, here, they're going to empty the e-wallets tonight. Maybe what we can do, there is a disaster done in Dominica, I believe it is.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can have a fundraiser for them, and we do what Cyprus did. We tax everybody at 10% and send it to Dominica. I'm joking, don't panic. I guess the point was that please take your money out and put it in your bank account, and we prefer that than in our bank account. Now, there is a fee, the usual $10 for this mega night.
Yes, of course.
And the guest stars, of course, are free.
Yeah, that's, I think, an international thing. And actually, as a matter of fact, Ramin, since this is a big corporate event, usually it is more, but we always keep it at the same $10 that goes global. And you can have as many guests as possible. Guests, of course, are always free. You know, you can, parking is free on location. There's even underground parking. So there is tons and tons and tons of fun that's going to happen. You know, just jam-packing the house with, of course, our top LCs. You know, we'll have the Renee Liaos, of course, the Rezas, and of course the Jeanettes and Seans and Leors of the world. So we're going to have all of our top, you know, LCs that are going to be there. You get a chance to rub shoulders with them. You get a chance to win some cash prizes. But most importantly, you get a chance to skyrocket your business and make some money. And if your target is to become a diplomat, or if your target is to become an ambassador, this is your money-making night. And Ramin, we're holding this, of course, a block away from the office at the Sheridan Parkway Hotel. So the doors for registration are going to open at 6:30. If you want to have your, you know, walk through, if you're coming out of town, which I know there's tons of people that are going to be coming from all different parts. I know we already have Minnesota. Of course, kudos to Marshall and his team. Anytime there's an event, right away, without a question, they're here, and that's why, you know, they are who they are. I want to recognize that, of course, we have a team from Calgary, we got Montreal, we got Ottawa, we got Quebec, we got Barrie, we got people from Cambridge, and, of course, people from abroad, United States are going to be coming in for this. We may even have Nigeria in the house, Ramin.
Yes, you got a call about people trying to get visas to come for this. Can you imagine that? First of all, I got to give my kudos to Marshall, to the grand champion of attending every event. Man, what a champ. Fill up the car, give his boys and girls, and cross the border, come to it. Wow, what a team. Of course, when you put that much of an effort, you know my rule, you put 25%, we put 25, we put 50, we put 50, we put 100, we put 200. You stop, we stop. We don't chase anybody. When you see people take the business that seriously, I'm telling you, this is what we live for day in and day out. Hey, look, I don't think if you don't get how big this is, I don't think you understand this industry at all. We really need to get you educated and up to date. This business is all about stories. We're in a storytelling business, and when you're new, you need that third-party influence, the third-party credibility. And in these mega events, you got millionaires that are in that room. And because we're a binary program, a lot of these millionaires are in your upline. Can you imagine have all these guests and pointing at the guy on the stage? That's my upline. He's a millionaire. That's my upline. He's at the 10K club. That's my upline, 25K club. He's an NA. These are all your uplines. You want to take pictures with them. You want to introduce your guests with them. This is the night where everybody comes together. So this is not a question of I'll wait till the last day and try to make 2 calls. It's not going to happen. You need to plan for it now. Make sure you have 5, 10 in the books locked in. Out of that, 1/3 will show up because people get consumed by life. Even though they confirmed, they get consumed by life. You want to make sure you don't show up that night and then you don't have any guests. I mean, it's nice that you're there, but it's nice that you're there and you make money. And of course, if you want to win the first place, you're going to need a hell of a lot of people. And I think so that's one of the previous years, the highest I think we had was like 22 guests. I remember somebody had like 22 guests in one of those previous years.
Yep. Ramin, actually, it was part of Renee's team, the Asian team. They dominated it. They had 22 guests that was present there. Of course, kudos to them. And you know what? I think we're going to have some good competition this year. Now, at the bottom of the flyer, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there is a live stream that if you are outside the country, you can actually register.
Actually, the flights from outside the country, well, if you happen to live in Mars, we got a live stream going for you too. No, we're just joking. Point is that if you can make it, you should be here.
Absolutely. And just in case, if you are from Toronto, GTA, and trying to register, it will not allow for you to register. This is only for international markets. If you live in Ontario, you should get in your car and you should drive and you should be at this event.
There's a lot going on that we can't talk about. We're going to talk about some of them, give you some highlights. But again, you know what? As we said in the old days, when you're live, when you're there sitting, it's live. When you watch it on live stream, or when you see a video or hear about it, it's just not the same. It's like you're going to watch a movie yourself or somebody telling you about it. You got to be there. The important part about live stream, we talk more about it later, but it makes it so awesome that if you're outside the country, you can actually utilize our system, which, by the way, costs us over $20,000 to get this TV crew over there to basically be able to keep up our commitment to the concept we have, no member left behind. So I'll lose my shirt on this to make sure that you folks have an option. And you can actually, doesn't matter what country you're in, you can jam-pack a hotel room, get a big screen, and watch the live tour on a Friday night, which we're going to do live. You can actually do it on a big screen in your city, in your country, and with your guests. So you can have your own live tour watching our live tour.
Absolutely, Ramin. You know, when I was a distributor in the field, whenever there was an event in the hometown where the world headquarters was, which, the company I was involved with was in Dallas, I used to jam-pack the house, whether it was renting a car and driving for days, whether it was taking a bus and crossing the border and going, whether it was even getting flights, getting one room and jam-packing, 7, 8 distributors where we used to bring sleeping bags, and we used to just, take turns. The team used to take turns on who was going to sleep on the bed. Whatever it took, we went there. And, at the end of the day, any serious leader in any company that considers themselves a leader needs to be at these events. So this is a big deal because we have so much to reveal. We have so much to show. I remember at the forensic seminar there was people that were saying, oh, I've been to a forensic seminar, I'll catch the next one, I don't know if I can make it, and they would come up with 1,000 excuses, and I basically would tell them straight up, if you are serious about this business, if you are serious about this opportunity, you need to make sure that you make an appearance, because when it's important to you, it's important to your team, it's important to your prospects, it's important to your surroundings. So I even made people change their flights so they were going to go on trips to be at the forensic seminar. And you know what? Sure enough, every single person that always attends our events always says, I regret having more people at this event. I wish I had gone above and beyond. I wish I had done whatever it took to be at this event, because I know if my team was here, my business would skyrocket and go to the next level. And so without having regret later, we're telling you and we're reminding you of all these things now.
Speaking of forensic events, Sanaz, we had over 700 lines on live stream in 24 countries. That's about 3,000 to 4,000 people that tapped in through live stream. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it's only twice a year. This is the last one, your last chance. And by the way, I don't know, we've never had in the first 8 years, we never had a product and innovation conference. Never. This is not a training. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of amazing things that's going to happen over the next decade. We're going to cover the last decade, including all the great stuff and some stuff that need to get better. And we know there are a couple of areas that we need to get better and what we've done about it. This is all about a philosophy, why we make the decisions that we make. And once you understand that, you're going to the moon with your conviction and everything else. So it's a different type of conference. And on top of that, we got a lot of great stuff going on. So let's just go to the conference, Jonathan. Let's bring that slide up.
You know, Ramin, until we get Jonah Lynn to bring that up, send you a private message in regards. But that's what it takes. That's what leadership is. And Abdulia, for example, wants to own the Latino market, and that's what it's all about, sweetheart. And we're going to help you and support you in any way we can.
Well, so now let's talk about the conference. There is so many things that we're going to do. Now, there is a video of this coming out tomorrow. We tried to. Is it released yet? Oh, okay, I haven't seen it, so I guess it is released, and I wasn't aware. And on that we talk about, but look at some of the topics. Product philosophy, past, present, and future. Ladies and gentlemen, once you understand what a mindset is and what we think about in our boardroom and what keeps me up at night and what Sanaz has been trying to do, you will be in a completely different perspective on what GWT is. So again, this is, we're going to share things that we've never shared before in our history.
Of course, Ramin, not only are we going to talk about our product philosophy, but, you know, one of the big things about your motto, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And one of the big things that I'm going to be covering during that topic at this conference is what is so great and incredible about our company, and, of course, what needs to get better and what we've done about it. So we know definitely there's always areas of improvement. We're not the first perfect company, nor will we be the first perfect company, but we're going to be telling you what is to come in the next decade in this business, and of course what we are doing to become a much better, stronger, and dominating brand.
Again, it's all about the next decade, and Sanaz, my baby's coming out February, March, the official launch announcement. Look, you're probably wondering what that means. Well, February, March got pre-launched in 2008, and many of you remember that convention where Sanaz was walking down the elevator with 2 RCMP officers, one on each side, with 2 big briefcases. When initially brought the initial February, March, and we had this big display, and we had RCMP everywhere, making sure it was safe. Those were the great days in Niagara Falls. And then I said, when we have enough products in February, March, it's going to be an official launch, something completely so elaborate. You've never seen anything like this. You know we're pretty elaborate with Ferry. Imagine what we would do with February, March. Well, with the developments that we did this year, other France and Italy, I can tell you right now, February, March will be ready for its own exhibit, meaning having its own gallery. In fact, when we do move into our new world headquarters, Ferry Marsh will have its own little gallery. That's how significant it is. I am absolutely revved up. I don't know. Maybe for me, it's that ego thing that we can do things that no one else in the world can do. It's not about selling, although Ferry Marsh has already a VIP club of about 250 plus people in it. But it's not even about selling a single piece. It's about creating what no one else does, doing what no one else does. So you can go out there and market your Posh and Ferry because we have Ferry Marsh. So yeah, Ferry Marsh is going to a different level. And the stuff we're coming out with, it will absolutely shock you. So that's, again, we won't talk much about that, but we will touch on it at this conference.
Absolutely. And Ramin, the another topic that is very, very dear to my heart that we're going to be talking about is the direction of the Posh collection. I remember a couple of years ago, you know, when we didn't have the lower priced items, I came to you, I spoke to you about the fashion jewelry, the costume jewelry, into adding it, and of course it was not meant to be fashion jewelry that was worn every day, but fashion jewelry that was meant to you know, be able to enhance outfits and colors and so on and so forth. So we came out with a Posh collection, and boy did it ever skyrocket. And of course, since the launch of Posh, we've done multiple different versions. We've changed our plating, we've enhanced it, and now we're doing the gold plating. But Ramin, and ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be not only releasing and showcasing, but I actually have a special treat for Posh for every single attendant that's going to be there. So you get a chance to get a sneak peek, be able to see it, and also know what is coming just prior to Christmas. But not only that, this entire collection of Posh that is going to be released is going to skyrocket your income just prior to Christmas and just in time for Christmas with the brand new collection of Posh. I'm not going to give any more away because I want to keep it all for the conference, Ramin.
I can tell you, Posh, once you guys see the new collection, first thing you want to do is just to touch it. And I encourage you to do that because it's gone to a completely different level. It's almost like a Posh prestige. And the value on it it's just incredible. I got to tell you something right now. Posh, we probably learned more about jewelry, trying to come up with a Posh collection, than we did blowing up $3 million worth of gold trying to do Ferry Marsh, because it's a completely new line of business. And I got to tell you, we did an amazing job, but when you're in 94 countries, some climates, you learn very quickly how difficult it could be when you are a luxury designer and you try to do something at an economical level. It's like going to Rolls-Royce and say, Rolls-Royce, can you make me a Kia? They're going to say, we don't know how to, because all they know how to do is hand-stitch, handmade, best of material, the best of hardware, the best of everything. They cannot do things in an economical way. A Bentley takes about 30 days to put together, and Hyundai takes about, they can put 11 cars together in 12 hours. So imagine, if 11 cars in 12 hours, and Bentley takes 30 days because it's hand-built. So that's who we are. We're a luxury designer, and because of the demand and the request, we've decided to go to economical level, and boy, last 2 years was a learning lesson for us. But I can tell you with confidence, and you can take this to the bank, the Posh, some of the climate issues with Posh, because it was a great product, it still is worldwide, but some of the climate issue with Posh, some of the plating, all of that is over. Posh is gone too. You're not going to recognize a new Posh. And of course, same goes with day-to-day. And as we came from a prestige line to compete with Versace and Louis Vuitton, we've always had a pristine record with our leather goods because it's absolutely the best material done by the best factories. But going to day-to-day, again, we try to accomplish something we're not good at, which is creating something economical. And again, that is completely changing, because now we've changed factories to a completely new level. And so that's what, again, I talk about that the whole day, what we've done for the day-to-day bags that we're never going to have to go back to the materials that we use for this collection.
Ramin, you know, this call can last hours, and that's why it's important for everyone to be at conference. If you're planning on building this business, if you're leading an organization, you cannot miss this monumental event. We are going to teach you so much. We are going to tell you so many of the future directions that we are going to be taking, whether it's the posh, whether it's the day-to-day, the future direction of the tungsten, the high-tech ceramic, of course, the fairy timepieces. There is just so much to talk about, Ramin. There's just so much happening with the company. I've been working around the clock, with our factories. Of course, you guys have seen me doing some traveling. I've been working with our designers internationally to develop and create. There's just so much coming, and I'm so excited to see you all face to face and to share, like Ramin said, the past, the present, where we are, where we're going with all of these different verticals, and where the future of them really are.
And you know what? Going back again to segment timepieces, we had a pristine record with our tungsten and the ceramic, high-tech ceramic timepieces, and then we tried to do something new, more economical. We wanted to go to the steel, although we use a 316L, the best steel. So again, we came up with a Hollywood, absolutely gorgeous. But again, going back to a couple of issues that we had in some warm climates, we'll tell you what we're doing about that. You know what? Outside all these other announcements, because there is so much going on, the whole lineup of Very Posh and Very Mosh, the whole lineup, not products in per se, but the logos, the brand standards, everything is changing, and the reason is and as of what's going on in Europe. It is a monumental investment. I didn't know when we're going to be doing it, but it's time now. You were headhunting somebody for the past 6 months or a year on Instagram, on different parts. You found a major designer. Sanaz came to me when we were in Italy, and we were visiting some factories. It says, we've got to headhunt somebody and get them on board. We didn't know what was going to happen. We arranged a meeting, and Sanaz?
Well, Ramin, for just about over a year, I've been looking for someone to be able to sort of give me a hand with our designs, and of course leading the rest of the designers we have. As our business is growing between operations, development, factory, communication, I've had quite a bit on my plate. So, there's been a gentleman that I've been looking at, and he is absolutely spectacular. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest speaker that's going to be at our event, but we have just recently hired one of Europe's top rising fashion designers, and his design, and of course a full team that is going to be working on our global designs internationally. And ladies and gentlemen, you might want to just pay attention on what's going to be on my feed and what's going to be on my arm, because you're going to get a chance to see some of the sneak peeks of some of the stuff that's coming. And you know what? It's going to absolutely blow your mind away. And Ramin, I am so revved up, because with this gentleman and of course his team, we are going to be showing you some of our new brand standards, of course our exclusive and executive, and I should just say exclusive fonts and that we're going to be using, and logos, and so much more. So I don't want to give it all away, but let me tell you, I am so revved up, and this is one of the biggest things for me, because it's just going to take our brand to a completely different level with this brand new team that we've just gathered with Europe's top rising fashion designers.
Well, this is the next level, Sanaz. This is the absolute next level, taking with the top designers in Europe. He has built 3 different brands already. His own brands are sold in the most prestige boutiques in Europe. One of those specialty products, and it was hard, it was expensive, it took a long time, but I managed to get him on board and lock him in for at least a year. And my goal is to lock him in full-time for the rest, full-time indefinitely. And because of this, he's got a firm, it's a complete team, not just one person. We're actually setting up our very first design firm, design studio in Europe. The office is being rented as we speak now. Already the Ferrari logo has been adjusted. It's going to be a bit different. You're going to get to see. There's so much coming up. Again, folks, the next level. When I say it's about domination, it's about domination. It's about winning. It's not about money. Money is a byproduct. It's about winning. And when we know we need help, we know we need help. Dealing with 30 designers, it's not easy, and Sanaz is trying to do it. But you know what? Having someone to lead that team, and someone that already has monumental success with a big name, I couldn't not be more jazzed regardless how much it costs, and you will see the result. Trust me, you'll see what's going to happen over the next 12 months to our entire leather goods, shoes, pretty much everything that we make.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you how revved up I am. Of course, this would include our entire leather collection of belts, shoes. Ladies, wait till you see the hot stuff that's coming out your way. Gentlemen, you are going to be absolutely blown away. And by the way, you want to really pay attention to also some of the shoes that Ramin is going to be wearing, because he's going to be even giving you some sneak peeks. So we have so much that is going to be coming up for this new event. We have so much that's going to be happening. And another big announcement that we're going to be talking about is our monumental product warranties and, of course, an introduction to our brand new extended warranty option that we've been talking about, and we are so thrilled. So the people that are going to be at this conference, the people that are even, global, such as Australia or, of course, Africa, that won't be able to join us in person, I know you're going to be on live broadcast, and kudos to the Australia team. Of course, as soon as they saw the announcement go out, right away they said, is there going to be a webinar? You've been pushing for us to do a webinar. So you get a chance to hear about all of the new developments. But, of course, we highly encourage everyone to fly in for this last event before our April conference that's going to be coming up, because when you're here in person, you get a chance to absorb everything like a sponge. You get a chance to take that excitement back to your team and share it. And Ramin, I am so revved up because our warranties are already the best in the industry. Nobody gives 3 years on timepieces. Nobody gives 1 year on silver. No one gives 5 years on gold and diamonds. But you know what? We already have the best, but we're going to make it even better with our extended warranty that we're going to be offering to our luxury consultants.
What's nice, it's all about peace of mind. And for us, again, we're being able to create something and put out something that everyone's really, really revved up about. And I'll be releasing some major policy decisions that I've made at this conference that's going to affect the way you do business. So yes, it's not another boot camp. You want to be there. And here's what you got to do. When I was on the field, as you know, I built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses. I, myself, and all my inner circle, which was my top leaders, we all bought 50 tickets at a time, and we sold it to our team in our meetings. So what you need to do, buy 10 tickets, whether your meetings are in Montreal, Toronto, Minnesota, whatever, you sell these things at your event every week, week in and week out, because the more people of your people show up to events like this, the more money they're going to make you, the more committed they're going to be, the more they understand the business, your longevity, their effectiveness, everything goes high. So go buy 10, 20 tickets at a time, start selling it in your events. There's only a couple of weeks left. October the 17th. Again, this is going to be part of the live stream. So let's bring this to the next slide, please, Jonathan. Oh, you forgot to talk about
Yes, Ramin.
We have a slide for the live stream. No, one more. There we go. Thank you. All right. So why do I do live stream? Just so you understand, this is not open up a laptop or get another camera and a microphone. This is actually City TV. It's a TV station. The entire TV crew shows up. If you've been to the convention, you see them. This entire TV crew with leather headsets, massive cameras, massive equipment. It takes them a full day to set up. We have to just the internet alone to set up. We have to set up 2 days in advance. Just the internet connection for the 2 days is about $3,000 to be able to accommodate the load that this live stream worldwide puts on the bandwidth. This is not something simple. This is not cheap. Why do I do it? One concept: no member left behind. $39.99. Like Jim Rohn says, the late Jim Rohn, that's cheap. That's easy. You can borrow that from your kids. What you want to do is make sure, whether it's yourself, basement, or your bedroom, whether it's you and your team on your kitchen table in your basement, or whether as leaders you load up the hotel room and then you watch this thing happen for Friday and Saturday, we're bringing it right to you. No excuses, no visas, no hotel bills, no flight tickets. You guys can get this done in your country, in your island, wherever you are. We bring it to you, but you have to use it. If we see that this is going to be a way forward, I'll keep making an investment regardless of how much money we lose on this. Well, obviously, if I'm going to spend $22,000, $25,000 on a live stream setup, if I see that we don't have a lot of users, then I will not offer it. Now, we had a tremendous amount of turnout for Forensic. I anticipate that we're going to double that with this one because, again, it's half the price and it's much shorter. So live stream, I've brought it to you. I've made the investment. We're planning for it already. No excuses. Don't miss it. Fill up the hotel rooms and join us live. So while we're doing this, we'll put a shout out to you, and you and your people can see it happen live at the same time.
And one more thing, Ramin, of course, as you all have seen, Rachel Walker in our graphic design team has actually recently done a video. There's a hashtag, of course, that goes with it. And we have asked everyone to hand in their 2-minute video that we're going to be releasing at this conference. So if you haven't already done your two-minute video, we're going to choose the top 10 videos. Just share your story. What's your story? When did you get started? How did you get started? What has GWT done for you? And we'd love to hear it. And one more thing, I'd like to make a correction on this, is that the live broadcast, it is $35, and it says $39.99. We changed it to $35 because all of our pricing is charged in Canadian dollars, but the live broadcast, because it is a U.S. company, it's going to be $35 U.S. Once you register, you'll go through basically the queue, but you're going to have a registration code. And as a matter of fact, based on the feedback that you gave us from the forensic webinar, even during the intermission, we'll even be running other live videos during the live stream as well. So, Ramin, I am so revved up for this amazing conference. Yep, this is the My GWT story. Thank you for pulling that up. So this is Rachel Walker. She's asked, she's giving you her 2-minute story. We want to hear your 2-minute story. So pick up your phone, do a selfie, let us hear your 2-minute story and what GWT has done for you. Of course, we're going to be releasing that. And Ramin, not only are we going to have all of the goodies that we talked about, we're also going to give them a sneak peek of the website that we've been working on as well.
Again, everything is changing, folks. Everything. You're not going to recognize the new website. It's not refaced. There's a completely new website. The functions are different. The whole look of it is different. We're moving away more from an MLM side. We're going into the product side, home party side. We're moving into who we are, a luxury designer side. So again, the functionality of the new website, it is absolutely phenomenal. I am revved up. Now, it's not going to be released that day, but we're going to give you guys some stills of pictures, images of what each page will look like.
And of course, to top it off, on top of all of that, Ramin, we also are going to have some new fairy and, of course, posh little insert books for purchase, new banners, new marketing material. I mean, the list goes on and on. Our team has been working around the clock. If you follow us on Instagram, you see some of the late night videos that we're doing at the office. But you want to make sure that, you do not miss this absolutely monumental event for only $40.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see how revved up we are about this. Let's go to the next slide, which is a very special call for me, which is a CDSE call. On Monday nights, if you are a diplomat or above, you have qualified to be a special call with myself, with your leadership in GWT, with Sanaz, and get a special training. Well, we haven't been on this call for a while. We're going to be there. So anyone in your team who is a diplomat, they should be on this call every Monday, because what you could do, not only you get special training, you can ask questions. So as a diplomat, you are the front of your entire team for them to ask, forward you the questions, and you can bring it out on a special exclusive call, and you can bring those questions out and get your questions answered. It's much like the United Nations. You'll be the ambassador representing your country on this call to bring the concerns or questions, whatever you need from your team to this call, and get them answers and take them back to your team. Now, tomorrow, Sanaz and I will be on it. Usually we're not. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff we talk about tonight and other things. So, CDSC, there is a Facebook page. Like Sean Haynes or Jeanette, you guys can give directions of how to get on this call. But that's tomorrow night. It's every Monday night. Do not miss it. You've qualified for it. Get on it. I know we got several hundred members in CDSC, so you want to make sure that this Monday night call, you don't miss it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited. I hope you are just as revved up as us. I'm watching these chat lines that are happening with our groups. Marshall writes, I need a drink. Abduli is going to drive down. I mean, there's just so much excitement in the air. There's so much going on. And you know what? It's 10 o'clock here in Toronto. As you can see, Ramin and I are both revved up, both excited. We're doing tonight.
Ian.
That's right. Excited and exhausted. But you know what? Although we shared so much information tonight, anyone that also missed this call, that's part of the leadership core of the CDSC, diplomats, ambassadors, regionals, nationals, and globals, make sure that they do not miss the call tomorrow. And I have to make a correction. In my video, I said 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's actually 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Sherry, thank you for making that correction. So we look forward to being on the call tomorrow. We look forward to sharing all the news with you. But, of course, make sure you're constantly following us on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on all of our pages to make sure that you're always in the loop of what's happening with the company.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close with this. Tonight, you took an hour of your time to get some very, very important information that's vital to your business. But you got to make the time for your business. It doesn't take a lot of time if you're part-time, but you do have to allocate 8 to 10 hours a week. You do have to do that if you want this business to achieve your dreams. You want to know how hard we work? This is the second conference call we've had today. One at 1 o'clock this afternoon with the Middle East. That took about 2 hours. And then a few hours out there in between, lots of emails and text messages. And I did another call to America, to the major network marketer who wanted to switch his whole team over. And I did that for NLC, who doesn't even know I had that call because this person approached me after they talked to NLC. Turns out they happened to be a big network marketer in the Cincinnati area. So I had a very long conversation with them. And now I'm having my third conference call here with you. And I do that with pleasure. Why? Because we have a dream. We have targets. We're going to the billion. We want to change lives. And nothing extraordinary can happen unless you start doing extraordinary things. The ordinary thing was, it's the weekend. I don't want to do anything. I want to relax. We work so hard during the week. I left 2 nights this week at 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I could easily justify taking the weekend off. You know what? You don't take weekends off when you're changing lives, including your own. So congratulations for being on this call. If you're on the CDSC tomorrow, if you're part of the CDSC group, make sure you're on that tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, you said? At 10 o'clock. Do not miss these calls. And when you don't miss it, you set a new culture in your team and your people don't miss it. Good night from Toronto. Thank you for listening. I look forward to seeing you all, whether through live stream or live at the next conference.
Good night, everyone. A pleasure to speak with all of you, and I can't wait to see you all in person and share all the goodies, excitement, and the reveals that we have, and, of course, for all of you to meet our special guest speaker that we're going to be having at this amazing conference. See you all then. Good night, and Jonah Lynn, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sanaz and Ramin. For sure, everybody is, are you excited or excited? So we are very much excited for everything that is coming. I just want to have a quick announcement about our Live Your Dreams tour. So we have our national ambassador, Rene Liao. He's still in the Italy to do Power Tour and Boot Camp. We're having a Montreal tour and boot camp with National Ambassador Reza Misgarlo, R.A. Tara Wong, and R.A. Leora Scaler on October 7th. And of course, the Nigeria Mega Tour and Boot Camp this coming November with N.A. Reza Misgarlo, Regional Ambassador Sean Haynes, and Ambassador Brian Arundel, and of course, with a very special guest, our VP, Sanazi Uman, and our CEO, Ramin Misgarlo. So make sure if you have team or prospect there, send it to all the locations, which you can find the flyers in our GWT page. And lastly, this coming Tuesday, our fast start training. Don't forget to log in. We will be having Cherry Penga from Australia. Team, have a good night. And again, thank you for attending this call.